see in our gospel today the encounter of this leper with Jesus. And this leper, of course, as we know, if you're suffering from leprosy, it has a lot of like negative impact, right, in that person's physical body and also life, right? Leprosy causes deformation, skin sores, and also nerve damages. And people who are lepers, they're considered unclean, right? People couldn't stay close to them. People couldn't touch them. Otherwise, they would also be contaminated. That's why they live in the outskirts. They're isolated from their family, their loved ones. They couldn't go to the synagogue to practice their faith. I could just imagine like the physical and emotional isolation must have been much more painful than the disease itself, right? But we see here how this leper took so much courage to go to Jesus. He broke the social barrier, right, between a clean person and an unclean person. He begged Jesus. He says, "Lord, if you choose, you can make me clean." Then Jesus stretched out his hand, touched him. Jesus could just say, "Be healed," and he could have been healed already. But Jesus specifically touched him in order to heal the emotional illnesses or the emotional isolation that this person is experiencing. This person needs to be touched by the Lord so that he would feel that he is loved. Right? That's why Jesus touched him and cleansed him of his leprosy. And what happened there is that immediately the leprosy left him. Could you just imagine what this person was feeling? The joy of not seeing the leprosy anymore, that he is now reunited with his family, loved ones, could go back to church or to synagogue and practice his faith. Just the overjoy that this person is experiencing. And I'm sure we could relate with this person, right? Sin is a form of spiritual leprosy. Sin that is harm that we could do in our relationship with God or with other people that separates us. Can you also imagine people would see our sins and how it deforms our soul? I'm sure we will experience guilt and shame, right? And would isolate ourselves from other people. But the Lord is not abhorred by our sin. That's why whenever we're experiencing shame or guilt or whatever, go to the Lord. Let Him love you despite the shame that you are experiencing. Let Him touch you because He loves you. No matter what you do, whether you do good or bad, He never stops loving you. And for the sin to be removed, we can't do it on our own. Because if we can, then Jesus doesn't need to come to save us because we could save ourselves. But Jesus came to save us, right? Let Him love you, and as you experience more of His love, that love will change your heart. That love will give you the power to say no to sin, right? And that's why it's so beautiful that we could always turn to Jesus, right? See our sin as a spiritual leprosy. That if we could persist in our sin, it will isolate us from God and also from other people. So turn to Jesus, let Him love you despite the shame that you're experiencing with your sin, and you will see how He will heal you of your spiritual leprosy.